Family sold my house while I was on vacation. I found out when a stranger knocked on my hotel room door and asked why I was still inside a property that supposedly belonged to him. I laughed and said, then he showed me the nude. My name was still on it, but someone he signed my house away. 3 days later, my father called me screaming, "You destroyed this family." I calmly replied, "No, Dad, I just stopped protecting the people who were stealing from me." My name is Ethan Miller, and for most of my life, I was the family member everyone called when something went wrong. If the car broke down, I came. If the furnace stopped working, I came. If my parents needed money, I sent it. If my younger sister needed child care, crockeries, or help paying rent, somehow my bank account became the situation. I never complained, at least not until they gave me a reason to. I was at least now until they gave me a reason to. I was 32 when I bought my house in Ohio. I was not huge, but it was mine. Their bedrooms, a small backyard, a garage, and a kitchen. I did not spend nearly a year remodeling myself. My mother called it the family house. I corrected her every time. No, mom, it's my house. She would laugh. You are serious, Ethan? I should have realized she was not joking. My younger sister, Melissa, had 2 children and a talent for tuning every incurrence into emergency. One month it was rent, the next month it was her car permanent, then daycare, then groceries. I helped because I loved my niece and nephew, but eventually helping became an explanation. My parents were no different. For 5 years, I spent them $1,200 every month because my father claimed they were struggling financially. Just until we got caught up. He always said 5 years, $72,000, and somehow they were still getting caught up. Then I meet Claire. She was different from everyone. My family. She did not ask what I earned. She did not care about my house. She did not ask me for favors. She simply liked me. We got engaged. She did not ask me for favors. She simply liked me. We got engaged after 14 months. When I told my parents, my mother smiled. That's wonderful. Then she asked the question that changed everything. Claire is not accepting you to stop helping us. I started at her. She has not said anything about it. My father immediately joined the conservation. Good, because family responsibilities don't disappear just because you get married. I nodded, but that night Claire looked at me and said something I did never heard before. You are allowed to build a life that does not revolve around securing everyone else. 3 months later, Claire and I booked a 2 weeks vacation in California. It was our first real vacation together. We helped planned everything. San Diego, Los angles a few days near the coast. For once, I was not answering emergency calls. The night before we left, my mother called Ethan Melissa needs the house for days. I laughed. What she and the kids need somewhere to stay. Mom, we are leaving tomorrow. You can stay at Hotel Claire. Heard the conversation, her expression changed. I told my mother no. She became furious. You are really choosing a vacation over your sister. No, I said I am choosing my own plans. She hung up. I thought that was the end of it. I was not. 2 days into our vacation, I received an email from my bank. Important property related transaction detected. I opened it. My stomach dropped. There was a withdrawal request connected to my home equality account. I immediately called the bank. The representative sounded confused. Mr. Miller, there is an active application using your property as a collateral. What? She gave me the application number. I told her I never submitted it. Then she said something that made my hand go cold. Sir, the applicant provided a copy of your driver's license. I knew exactly where the copy had some from my parents. Months earlier, dad had asked me for identification because he claimed he needed it for an insecure documents. I had forgotten about it until then. I called my father. He answered immediately. Ethan, what's wrong? Why is someone using my identity to take a loan against my house? Silence. Then he said, you need to calm from. That was when I knew he knew. I ended the call and contacted the bank's fraud department, but I still did not understand the biggest part. Why would my family risk everything? The answer arrived the next morning. Real estate agent emailed me, Mr. Miller, I believed you should know that your property has been listed for sale. I started the screen. My house was for sale, and the listing said the owner was motivated to sell quickly. I called the agent. She told me the seller had provided identification, ownership document, and authorization. Then she smiled me the paperwork. The signature block looked like mine, but it was not. Someone he forgot it. Claire sat beside me. What are you doing to do? I looked at the document. I am going home. We flew back the next morning. When I reached my neighborhood, there was a strange car parked outside my house. A man was standing in my driveway. He walked toward me. Are you Ethan Miller? Yes, he sighed with relief. Thank you. He introduced himself as Daniel. He said he had purchased the property. I almost laughed. You bought my house. He pulled out a folder. I paid a deposit. Then he showed me the contract. The seller's name was listed as Ethan Miller, but the person who signed it was not me. Daniel looked terrified. I did not know I believed you. Then I noticed something. The sale price. My house had been listed for $1,400. The contracts showed a sale price of one for $800. Then was not mistake. Someone had the liability to sold it far below market value. I called my father again. This time he answered, Ethan, listen to me. No, you listen. I told him I had the documents. He started shooting. You don't understand. Your sister was in debt. I froze. What does Melissa debt have to do with my house? Dad went silent. Then he said she owed people money. How much? Another silence. About $1,300. Everything suddenly made silence. They were not trying to help Melissa temporarily. They were trying to use my house to erase her debt. My own family had decided that my property was more expendable than my sister financial problems, but they had made one enormous mistake. They did not realize I had been documenting everything, every payment, every message, every requested for money. Every time my father told me it was just temporary, I hired an attorney. Within 48 hours, the fraudulent sales was changed. The bank froze the loan application. The title company opened an investigation, and then the police became involved. That is when Melissa finally called me. She was crying. Ethan, please. I said nothing. I did not know they were going to sell your house. You knew they were using my information. I thought it was just a loan against my house. She started crying harder. I was desperate. I closed my eyes. Melissa, desperation explains a decision. It does not excuse it. Then she said the sentence that ended our relationship. But you are my brother. You were supposed to help me. I laughed quietly. That my the problem. 2 months later, the investigation concluded that my parents and Melissa had submitted fraudulent documents. The attempted sale was cancelled. The loan never went through. My house remained mine, but something else was gone. My trust. My parents begged me to drop the charges. They promised everything would change. I told them something my father had once told me, family responsibilities don't disappear. He started at me. I continue, but neither do consequence. I stopped sending money. I stopped paying Melissa bill. I stopped answering emergency call, and for the first time in my adult life, I was not terrified of what would happen. I said no. Years later, Claire and remodeled the last unfinished room in my house. We turned it into an office. On the wall, I hung a framed photograph for our California trip. Under it, I wrote one sentence. The day I stopped being everyone's solution was the day I finally became responsible for my own life. My parents still tell relatives that I wanted my family. Melissa says I could have saved her. Maybe she is right. I could have, but I have learned something important. Saving someone from every consequence does not save them. Sometimes it only teaches them. The someone else will always pay the price, and I had spent 32 years being the someone never again. Thanks for watching.